Alright, I'm Dylan. I'm here to talk about Common Core. It's a big problem right now. And for those of you who don't know, the Common Core is the standards of learning in English and mathematics for grades K through 12 here in the United States. Common Core has failed students since its introduction. And as you can see here, these are from Kentucky and New York, but it's to show a wide base all the way from Kentucky to New York and everything in between, that grades are significantly lower since Common Core's introduction than it was before Common Core, which is represented by the green here. They've been lower, and Common Core right now is only, the test scores for Common Core are only recorded every 2 years. So when you see those notes or something coming out, that's over a 2-year span. So that means there's more test scores seen there than there would normally be, making the average higher. Why is Common Core failing? Through research, we believe that Common Core is failing because of these reasons, which are teachers are more restricted in their ways of teaching. They can't go out and teach the way they used to. And if a teacher can't teach the way they want to, then their job doesn't become fun. If a teacher's not having fun, the students definitely aren't paying attention. I mean, students already have enough trouble paying attention. It just gets even worse. Students, even those with slight disadvantages when it comes to learning, ADHD, ADD, have to take the same test as students who can learn like nothing, who can pick it up, read the material, and with a photographic memory just remember everything they read. And it's really bad for the students with these slight difficulties, as they're going to drag scores down, and there's nothing there to test them individually. There's no plan in place. With Common Core's tighter standards and requiring people to learn more than the old standards did in 1 year, there's a lot less one-on-one time that they can go talk to people, their teachers, their counselors, stuff like that. As I mentioned earlier, another reason is that Common Core test scores are only collected every 2 years. Meaning, if there's a problem 1 year, no one will see it. They can easily hide it, and then the next year there could be a couple good scores that drag it up and make it look like, it's not that bad. When really it was that bad, and that year that they didn't record it is a year that we were at an all-time low for scores. And then Common Core has more to its yearly lessons. Again, I touched on that a minute ago. There's more required to learn. There's more tests. There's quarterly tests that they use. And just overall, it's just too much for students to learn. They're being required to learn faster than they're probably capable. Especially at younger ages where they're just now getting into a place where they actually have to start doing schoolwork. So what is the solution? Our solution is simple. Cut quarterly tests. Take those, keep the midterm, keep the final, but the test in between, get rid of them. Let teachers go back to testing their students. When I was in school, we didn't have Common Core. And our teachers would make up their own tests except for the finals and midterms. So cut them. Let this teachers know better than principals or counselors, or the only people who know better than teachers about how a student is learning is their parents. Start recording test data every year. Don't hide that 1 year that was bad, because it just adds to the problem. If you start recording every year, you get a more get a better idea of what needs to be done in order to actually achieve those test scores that we had going back in the past. Scale back the standards a little. Again, I mentioned earlier that students are being required to learn all this material quicker than they did in the past, and it's going to hurt some of them. Scale those standards back a little bit. Get rid of that stuff that maybe isn't as important. Give a little bit more time for students to comfortably understand the material, get the material down, and then achieve what they can. And then finally, this is more of a check, as a check to see if it's actually working. Start talking to the students. Either assemblies or just teachers handing out surveys. Check and see if how students are responding to our solution. If it's working, the students will let you know. If it's not, the students will let you know. Whatever works better is what the student's going to want. Whatever's easier for them is what they're going to ask for. And that's our solution to fix Common Core. Something. Got nobody over there. Yay, doggy.
What's good with it, G-Money?